16 seeds. Although, you know what? Penn, the Ivy League champion, is has the highest ELO of any 16 seed ever. So
Highest what?
ELO. It's it's a rating used to calculate a team's proficiency. It's based on it's entirely mathematical. It's based only on who you've played and how what the score was.
Gotcha.
So it's with a grain of salt, but I mean it's a pretty good measure for just it being completely non-biased.
So is it who you've played and who they've played and how they've all matched up and they take that all into account?
Yeah, it's all data. So it's all which teams have it's all each team's ELO is based on what score they had against a different team, and then the only other factor is were they home or away?
Okay.
Because that makes a bigger difference than people realize.
Right. Interesting. And you said they're the highest rated one?
Highest rated 16 seed ever.
Really?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's more interesting at least.
Right.
But ever since they added the second play-in game, you're basically getting, because you're adding an extra 16 team, right? So basically that means one of the 15 seeds bumped down to a 16 seed. So
Right.
So the 16 seeds are going to be a little bit stronger. The better ones are.
Right.
Depending on the year.
Well, with that, welcome to the Tripod Sports Podcast. My name is Castle, and with me are Catman and Chappers. That rousing introduction was brought to you by Chappers and our love for the 16 seed play-in games.
Oh, did you get that all in?
Oh, I got most of that.
Alright, that's good.
Most of it. It is March Madness, folks, and I am excited. What about you two?
I'm excited too, but I think we're gonna have to touch on all this NFL happenings.
I was gonna say I'm super excited, and I have 84 million reasons why.
Hey, Jesus. Did you guys see that link I provided in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The quick reference guide thing might be helpful. I don't know if it will or if it won't, but I figured I'd put it out there for you guys.
That's fair.
So yeah, let's start with the NFL shit, and we're gonna talk some basketball after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because we're gonna do it that way.
Yeah.
All right. NFL wise though, Jordan Nelson got cut just an hour ago.
He did.
Yes. And yeah.
Chappers, you sound excited about this.
I'm a little excited about it. Not because I'm sad. That makes me excited to see him go, but because he wasn't worth $10 million.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. He's 31 years old. His production just hit a wall as soon as Rodgers went down last year. And, he's not getting any younger. He doesn't create a ton of separation. Maybe he'll be back at a lower price tag. Who knows? Because I don't...
Yeah, I don't know that he's got a ton of demand.
Right. That's the thing is, he hasn't proven that he really can do much without Aaron Rodgers being his quarterback. And he and Rodgers are great together.
I was going to say.
But...
the flip side of that, though, is, how valuable is he to the Packers' chemistry on offense?
Yes. That's where I was going to go.
What's the price tag for that?
Obviously it's not $10 million. We'll see what he gets in free agency, but I really don't think he's all that valuable to any other team because he does not create separation on his own. He used to over the top, but he's lost a step and he's not going to get it back at 31 years old. That's kind of the age that wide receivers not named Larry Fitzgerald kind of hit a wall.
Question for you. If we had to do a straight up white guy comparison in this free agency, You put him on like a Danny Amendola level here? Size, skill, everything.
I don't think you can compare the two only because Danny Amendola is just a different kind of receiver.
I understand that, but I mean, value-wise, are you getting the same value out of Amendola as you would a Jordy Nelson playing their respective positions? Obviously,
potentially.
Because if so, Amendola is only worth $6 million a year.
Right. Yeah.
He got a $12 million deal with Miami, and that's it. 2 years.
Yeah. I would probably put it on. That's probably accurate.
Okay. You say Jordy's right about 6, maybe even 7? 7 mil? Who's playing Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, I'm not.
Sounds like somebody's playing Grand Theft Auto.
No. Do you just have it on the background?
I have it on in the background so I can break down supplies. Hold on.
Yeah, you're just trying to...
my shit.
He's just trying... He's got it on so he could oversee the drug deals.
On Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, so he's not trying to play it. just to Castle.
Why are you standing up for him?
Just to clarify.
What?
Just to clarify, it's on Grand Theft Auto. He is not supervising an actual drug deal.
Yeah, no. It's all virtual. My criminal enterprise has to constantly be doing things. That's the kind of ship I run. No laziness.
Right. Anyways, back to the discussion, though. So you'd put Jordy Nelson about the $7 million mark?
I'd put him at about the Amendola mark. I don't even know Amendola's worth...
Okay, but my question for the Packers is okay, so you add Jimmy Graham, okay? That's the other big thing they did today.
Right.
They have an absolute need at almost every defensive position.
Right.
Their other wide receivers also didn't really do shit last year.
Right.
Besides Devontae Adams.
Besides Devontae finally, kind of figured it out a little bit.
Yeah, well, he was the only receiver that really did anything without Rodgers there. So,
right.
That's what's kind of the proving ground for me is that, he was able to have production with a shitty quarterback. So, that tells me he's a legit wide receiver.
But Randall Cobb's a year older, and he has not been the same person for a couple of seasons. Yeah, and that's
something to think about because they have Ty Montgomery, who's converted to running back, but they also have 2 other good running backs, and they could use Montgomery in kind of that hybrid role.
Yeah.
And that could leave...
And they have Trip Toronto.
I think that's why they wanted Allen Robinson, but I think Graham actually... Yeah, I think Graham actually works better because they've just had nothing at the tight end position. I mean, they had Jared Cook for 5 games, and that was it. And ever since Finley, had his neck issue, they haven't been able to have even a replacement level player at tight end. And Jimmy Graham is arguably more of a wide receiver than a tight end, but he can line up at tight end, so he gives you more versatility that they just didn't have. And I think it's a better move there because they can more easily just plug somebody in on the outside than they can for a tight end. I mean, Graham can play on the outside if you want him to, and he can move inside. It gives their offense more versatility. And guys like Geronimo can step in, and Trevor Davis, if he ever learns how to catch a ball, is a more of a deep threat as well on the outside.
Okay.
But yeah, they're gonna have to sign a free agent corner.
That's what I mean. They need to. They're gonna have to. I get it. I just was Randall Cobb up for a contract too?
I think he has 2 years left on his deal, but that's one where I think he's in the conversation to either get restructured or even get traded because of
okay.
I
almost would have thought they would have explored that first before just cutting Jordy.
The thing is, Jordy was in the last year of his contract, so he didn't have much dead money left. So they saved $10 million from cutting him this year, and they wouldn't have saved that much money cutting Cobb. But Cobb is younger, so he's more of an asset. So, like, you might get a trading partner for Cobb, or you might get, work something out where he signs for, like, an extra 2 years beyond and spreads out some of the money because of the lack of production. But, they simply had to do something there because they're basically in the range where you had 3 wide receivers that were going to make $10 million this year. And, like, you just can't afford to do that when you need to address other things on your team.
Yes. Agreed.
What?
You also can't afford to do that when you have to pay Aaron
and
Rodgers.
I guess that's the other thing is that, eventually he's going to get a contract done. I don't think there's as much urgency to it as some people do, because he's got 2 years left on his deal. Plus, there's that, like, franchise tag thing that's, a possibility. Yeah. So, like, realistically, he's got 3 more years before they absolutely have to do something. I'm not saying it's going to take that long, but there's time.
Guys, can we talk about some of these contracts here? Sammy Watkins, $48 million, $60 million annual value. Total guaranteed, $30 million. Guaranteed at signing, $30 million. As soon as he signs the paper, he gets $30 million.
The amount of guaranteed money getting thrown around right now is outrageous, especially for wide receivers. That's a lot of money. That's a lot
Sammy
of money.
Watkins.
Yeah, on someone who's I'm sorry, not worth it.
Who over the next 3 seasons could tear his left ACL, his right ACL,
he's never
his left
been
ACL.
that good.
Yeah, I mean he's been all right. He's been pretty good when he was healthy, but the thing is, wide receivers are probably the most abundant position out there. So I don't understand why people are paying so much for them. That's why I was just saying the Packers can't afford to have $30 million on their wide receivers because that's just too much for a position where there's an abundance of talent. It's a lot harder to find good pass rushers than it is to find good wide receivers.
Right. How about the Browns?
Oh fuck! I forgot about them.
Just doing all the neat things.
I really kind of like what they did.
I love everything they did. I was with our friend Rayo when it was happening, and we were just analyzing all of it, and I think it's wonderful.
T-Time Tyrod.
Holy cow, you really sit back and realize just how many freaking draft picks they've accumulated over the past 5 years. To just dump them like no one's business and still probably have more picks in this upcoming draft than anyone else.
They did not dump anything. The highest they did was the 3rd round pick for Tyrod. So
right.
Their first and second rounds, in which they have 3 first round picks, 2 in the top 5, and 2 second round picks, both in the top 5. I mean.
And now that pressure's off them, potentially, of getting a quarterback. I don't know. That was something I wanted to see what you guys thought. Does getting Tyrod mean, we're done? I don't know that it... I mean...
I think T-Time Tyrod is just an insurance policy at this point. Because they know he's competent at least to run the offense.
Right.
With the tools he has. But I don't know. I think
the question for me. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm with Chappers' gut reaction here. That no, they're not done. They're going after somebody else, or they'll pick somebody up. Who knows? And I think Tyrod's just I
think Tyrod is the short-term answer, and they need a long-term answer. I mean, Tyrod's still sort of young, but Tyrod isn't elite, and in order to win in this league, you need elite. And Tyrod is going to be just fine for them. He's definitely better than anyone they've had play in quite some time. But You know, they need to draft the future. Now, if they don't feel like there's a huge difference between some of the top quarterbacks, could they trade out of the first pick to accumulate more picks if they wanted to, and be fine picking some other quarterback up at 4? Yeah, I think that's okay now. But I think you have to come away with one of the big 3.
Okay. I was spitballing ideas, and I was wondering, does this mean that they abandon getting another quarterback and really strongly pursue the possibility of drafting Saquon 1 and having a super dynamic offensive backfield with Tyrod and Saquon Barkley, and then still probably picking up Chubb at 4 and shoring up that defensive line? And I'm not saying it's
hell
likely.
Of a plan right there.
Well, and I don't know that I necessarily like it, because I think us three have spoken before. I get that Saquon Barkley could be the second coming of Christ. I get that, but I'm just not that sold on drafting a running back that high. I don't care who they are.
Since they're still a few years out, and the average career length for a running back is so short. By the time they're gonna be good, Saquon's going to be old by running back standards already, and that's hard to wrap your head around. But running backs' careers are so short, you just can't afford to do that with that high of a pick.
How old is Chris Ivory?
I don't know. He's 29. But
how'd you come up with that so fast?
I have the Reddit thing up.
Oh, it has his age on there?
Yeah, it's right next to his position. So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. It was just, kind of food for thought kind of a thing, because I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. But I just was curious, does getting Tyrod, is that the solution? And I guess we'll find out when they start drafting people, but I don't know.
Who's to say they don't make a late push at Kirky Turkey here, huh?
Well, they can't.
I thought Kirky Turkey's deal wasn't solidified yet.
Well, I mean, it's the legal no deal is solidified. Nothing.
I understand that legal
tampering it's the legal tampering period.
Yeah, but first day of league business is what, March 14th?
They can sign everything tomorrow. Yes.
All right, cool.
So I mean, yeah, they're not gonna. I mean, they
Come
can.
on. You want them to.
I don't. I would rather you stay with the Vikings.
All right. Who else, guys? Anybody else?
I mean, Malcolm Butler's gonna go get paid somewhere else. Good for him.
Didn't he already get his deal?
Yeah.
Don't really give a shit about him, but
yeah, I mean, whatever. He can go bitch about playtime somewhere else. I don't really have anything else that I care about except Kirk.
Other than free agency and first day of league business tomorrow, we saw that picture of Tom Brady's thumb. That was disgusting.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
He was growing a vagina on his hand.
Like the way you think. All right. We going on to March Madness, guys?
Yeah, we should do that.
All right, let's do it. All right, so there is a Tripod Sports bracket. We have a Tripod Sports challenge going. We've got a prize pack of a flag.
And a
Tripod Sports flag, sorry, and a Four Loko, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Chappers, we need to talk about some things after the broadcast. Let's remember to talk about things. About prize packs. But we have a link up on everywhere that you would find us. Our website, our Facebook, Twitter, other means of communication, I'm sure. Anyways, go sign up. Tell your friends to sign up. We need a lot of people to sign up because we don't have nearly as many people as we had last year.
Not so far.
No.
All right, I will make a big push this week. This week, I've got to do it tomorrow, I guess.
Sure do.
All right, let's go on though. Do we want to just openly state who we have picked now that we have our picks?
Yeah, mine are
You guys
good.
have your picks done?
Oh, yeah. I forget who I picked in ours, though.
Okay.
It was one of two teams.
Do we want to
I'm
openly
fine with
state who
that.
we're picking?
Sure.
Gentleman's agreement? Nobody switching their shit?
Yeah.
All right. I'm taking UNC
Wow.
to win it all.
That is not the direction I was going.
Do you
Where are you
have my
going?
Bracket up. Wait, I got it.
I can't pull your bracket up yet.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I will find it.
I picked Villanova.
Okay.
I picked one of those two teams. I did. I picked Villanova or North Carolina. I don't remember which one.
Okay. Starting with the... Let's start with the south side of the bracket while Catman pulls his shit up. UVA, number one ranked, is the number one ranked seed there. Chappers, you have
I
any
have
feelings about this? Catman, do you have any feelings about this?
Some guy got hurt. Some guy got hurt and isn't
From
going to play in the
UVA?
tournament.
Oh, really?
fuck.
Yeah. His name is Virginia's Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter.
Yes, DeAndre Hunter. He's out for the season. I don't know if he's any good.
Ooh, broken left wrist. Averaged 9.2 points, 3.5 rebounds
Yeah.
in 33 games.
So he's
I
not
don't know.
that big of a
That's
deal.
not insignificant.
You're not insignificant.
Hunter was named ACC Co-Rookie of the Week following his 22-point performance at Miami on February 18th, banked in a dramatic game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer at Louisville on March 1st, and he was named the All-ACC freshman team.
Like I said, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about. I've watched a lot of college basketball.
I
this
had
year.
Virginia in
All right.
the finals. So that's
Okay.
already taking a hit apparently.
And we did gentlemen's
Yeah, I'm not
agreement. We're
changing
not changing anything.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
I'm-
going to change it either.
I'm leaving my UVA where it is, losing to Cincinnati.
Why is my computer being a fucking pile? Go on.
Okay. Any other notable teams from the South?
Here we go. Cincinnati. They might get
Cincinnati.
weird.
I think they're going to get real weird.
I think they might get kind of weird. I actually picked them to come out of that side of the bracket. Good for me. Look at how smart I
I
am.
mean,
I
like
did too. I feel like I should.
you guys
screenshot
are
this
like
so you guys know.
are like celebrating on the 1 yard line here. I mean, Christ, they haven't even played any of the games.
I think Texas will make a little bit of noise. I think Loyola Chicago
I
might
have them
upset Miami.
actually, yeah.
I don't have them doing that, but I think they might. I won't be all that surprised.
They have strong upset
Um,
indicators. Yes.
Do they?
Tell us about the indicators. What are they?
Arizona's going to pay their way into the Elite Eight, probably.
Love that.
God knows how many hundreds of thousands of dollars are
Did
sitting
you guys see
on
my
that team's bench.
my bracket name?
Did not.
I didn't either.
When does football start?
Is that what it
Aiton's
said?
agent, Chappers Esquire.
Oh, there you go. That's fair. God. Yep. So, yeah, I don't really have much else. from
Okay,
that side of
so
the bracket.
upset indicators. They are maximizing possessions. So, in order to upset another team, you have to have extra possessions to be able to do so. So, you have to have more opportunities to like whip your dick out and perform above your pay grade, essentially.
Pay grade.
So basically, it's teams that do a good combination of creating turnovers, not turning the ball over, getting offensive rebounds, and not giving up offensive rebounds. Now, obviously, no team is great at all of those things, but like if you have a team that's good at like two of those things and like average like at the other two, that's a pretty good indicator versus like a team that's shitty, because there are teams that are pretty shitty at all of them and still end up here based on like great shooting. But the thing is, like, if you have a bad shooting night and you don't have like if you have a bad shooting night, you can lose very easily if you don't have that many possessions.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation.
Okay. Neat. Where are we going next?
Wherever you want. Where do you feel like going?
Let's go west. We'll go in a vertical fashion.
Okay. I like the way you move. Xavier, going all the way up to the...
I have Ohio State beating because I don't know.
I have Gonzaga beating them.
Yeah. And I think either one of those teams is a perfectly good, reasonable pick.
You know, the top 4 1 seeds are stronger this year than in most years. I mean, there really wasn't any debate over who the 4 were going to be. Some years there's a lot of debate, and this year there was a lot of debate 2 down, but there wasn't really any debate over who the top 4 were, which is an indicator that there are 4 teams that are, you know, not just a little bit better than other teams, but a lot better. But I think the exception to that is Xavier, because I think they don't play in a good conference, and
they're from Cincinnati. Like spit shields and riot gear everywhere.
Right.
In the nasty natty.
Yeah. A lot of chili eating going on, which isn't good for nutritional value.
Americans right there.
I mean, not great.
Bill Murray can only take you so far.
It's true.
Did his kid graduate? Is it his kid or is...
I have no idea.
Oh no, it's his kid's one of the like coaches, like an assistant coach.
Oh,
that's what it was. Never mind. So yeah, Bill Murray will probably be at all the games, but I still think they're going to lose in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I think that I pick Ohio State obviously for biased reasons, but I actually do think like if they play the way they're capable of, which is a huge ask for Ohio State in the NCAA tournament, I think they can make it pretty far.
Yeah, and I usually pick a 1 seed to go down in the 2nd round, and I couldn't pull the trigger on that this year just because I think they're so much better than other teams. Like, I think they'll all take care of business. Watch, like, 3 of them are going to lose in the 2nd round now. But, like...
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
but like you know, I do think they're going to be the first one to go down, because I think Ohio State and Gonzaga are both worthy opponents. So whichever one ends up there. Granted that, you know, I'm making a lot of assumptions that they're, you know, either of them are going to be there, because I think when we do this, we make a lot of assumptions that teams are going to play other teams. But this got this funny way of, like, you know, upsets happen, you know, even against 4 and 5 teams, especially 5 teams.
Right.
Okay. From the West, Ohio State. Catman, you already said you picked them to take it how far?
Just until they play North Carolina and lose.
Okay. I like that. I'm with you. The little bit I've heard from you throughout the season is if they can get their shit together,
for like the first time in a long time, they actually like look capable of doing it. Really, since like when Tad Matta had his pick of the litter as far as recruits went, this Kobe Altman guy or whatever his name is seems to have his shit together. I don't even know their coach's name. I just made that up.
Tad Matta is funny looking.
He is funny looking. I think Kobe Altman's a real person.
Chappers, why are you so high on Gonzaga?
They have strong indicators.
Kobe Altman's the fucking GM of the Cavs. Who the hell is this guy? What's this guy's name?
They have some good numbers.
Chris Holtman.
Isn't Kobe Altman?
It's Cam.
Altman is the GM of the Cavs. Yeah, I got Holtman and Altman mixed up together.
Anyways, go on. You were saying they have
and
strong
that's about
numbers
it.
and
I mean, I did mine based
and
solely off of numbers.
you're a
God,
metrics
you're like
guy.
I am a
Pitt
metrics
and
guy
Moneyball.
because
Right.
here's what I've learned from the past with watching the tournament. People with jobs do not have enough time to watch enough games to get a good enough sample size to understand the teams well enough from watching them. They'll understand the team that they follow, and that's it. Because if you watch one or two games all season from some of those teams, you're not going to get a representative sample of how good or bad that team is.
What we need to be doing is we need the FBI to make public this information, and you pick which team has the highest salary. And that's how you really should be doing it.
Right?
Whichever team has the highest salary
that's
in
definitely
college basketball
Kentucky. That is
the one.
absolutely Kentucky. We already know that.
Oh, God, college basketball. You make it so
I don't know. It's not like
easy.
college football is much better.
So corrupt.
Like,
I know, but I don't care. They haven't come out.
the only difference
that's
between
like-
college...
Those are like human rights abuses. This is like money,
Right.
so it's like a little
the
bit
difference
easier
is,
to.
like, college football, you need so many players on your roster that you have to spread out your incentive money.
Right.
Whereas college basketball, like, you just need one guy.
you need like
Yeah.
6 guys.
I mean, you just
Yeah.
need one or two guys, and that's it. So, like, the stakes are higher with recruits that in that respect.
Yep. Damn right. On to the East.
On to the East.
Villanova.
I really like
picked them.
Villanova. They've been strong all season. Their squads
Yeah.
for the last few years have been strong. You know, they've been there before. Jay Wright's an amazing head coach, and I think that they have a really strong squad.
I think this is the most exciting bracket, though. Or region, I should say. Like, after Villanova, I'm really not... Like, I think a lot of things could happen. Because I'm never sold on
I
Purdue
have
basketball.
them losing in the third round.
To-
In the
to
second round, I have
Butler
them
or
losing to
Texas?
Butler.
To Butler. And that's really popular. I get
Is that your team going down there?
Yeah,
Chappers?
I'm not sold on Purdue. They ended up as a 2 seed over Michigan, who ended up as a 3 seed despite Michigan winning the the Big Ten tournament. And Purdue down the stretch really struggled.
I just wish West Virginia got like a 7 seed in this bracket because I actually think they could like...
Yeah, West Virginia
Make it
got dicked on
quite far.
their position. I think they ended up in the absolute worst spot to make a run because they're
Yeah. Because I don't think they're
yeah
going to be
because like I said, I have them beating Wichita State, but I don't think they get past Villanova.
No.
Because
God, I hope Bobby
right,
Huggins doesn't have a heart attack.
and that's the thing is like West Virginia is one of those teams that are good with upsets because of their ability to create turnovers, and
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
press Virginia, as it were.
I really like how they play, and I think there are a lot of teams they could have beaten, but Villanova's deep enough and talented enough that they
Yeah.
won't get worn out by West Virginia, I don't think.
God, I want them to do well. I just couldn't even pick them over Wichita State because they always, like, let me down.
That should be a good game because both those teams play at a pretty high rate.
Yeah. Well, you know, as long as Bobby Huggins is screaming at people, I don't care.
I really don't like small like mid-major teams against West Virginia because West Virginia's deep and well conditioned, and they're plan is just to wear you out when they play you. So a mid-major team who's got good starters but maybe not a great bench might struggle against a team that wears you out like that. That's kind of my thinking there.
That's fair.
Hashtag analysis. I like that one.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Do we want to stick here with the East, or do we want to move on down to the Midwest?
I don't have much else. I don't know shit about seeds 3 through 15 on the bottom part of that bracket.
Okay.
I know nothing about Texas Tech. Apparently they're good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like,
I have them going down, but I really struggled with that kind of.
They're 4-1 versus top 25 teams. Jesus.
Yeah.
They are good.
I mean, I struggled with that kind of region. I didn't like Purdue. I'm kind of like lukewarm on Texas Tech. I think I have them losing. That might be my biggest mistake. Yeah,
Texas Tech?
I might not have been high enough on Texas Tech. I really struggled with that one. But I like to shake things up a little bit, and I looked at my bracket at one point. I'm like, if I advance Texas Tech to the Sweet 16, I'd be advancing all the 1 seeds on all the 3 seeds and 3 of the 2 seeds. I'm like, that's just not gonna happen. So I had to shake it up a little bit. I might pay for it, but we'll see.
Cool. Anything else, guys?
Nah.
We're good?
Yeah.
All right, so we made our picks vocal. But I'm assuming we're going to use those for predictions, correct?
Yeah,
we didn't do the Midwest part of the bracket. Sorry, when you said anything else, I thought you meant in respect to that region. We have to do the Midwest quickly. Sorry.
Sorry, I blew that over. My bad.
It's fine.
Midwest, Kansas. Obviously going to be great. They're great every year.
Yeah, they have a wonderful road to get as far as they fucking want.
Right. Penn,
unless
NC State.
Auburn or someone's better than I think they are. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna. Honestly, I think here it's gonna be about as predictable as it can be. I think it's gonna be a Kansas Duke. It's gonna be a Kansas versus a Duke or Michigan.
Yeah, State. I have Michigan State advancing out of that region.
God, I hate Grayson Allen.
Yeah,
that
sucks.
fucking guy.
I have Duke.
Yeah, and I really do think that Kansas is going to be strong enough to make it to the Elite Eight, but I think they have such a home court advantage. It might be inflating their record a little bit, and I think against an elite team at a neutral site, they might have an issue. And I think especially against Michigan State, where is the Midwest bracket being played?
I will check Midwest bracket locations. No. This is
Wichita, Kansas?
Omaha.
So,
Omaha,
I mean,
obviously
God. Kansas has a geographic advantage there, but they're not playing at home, and it's not like Michigan State is clear across the country from Wichita, Kansas, or not Wichita, Kansas, Omaha. So I think they're going to have a little bit of a dynamic, but the Fog Allen Fieldhouse advantage is pretty big. I mean, that is a really tough place to come in and play. So I think they have that advantage more than any other team. They might advance to the Final Four, but I do think that they're vulnerable.
Okay.
And now
again, take everything we're saying with a grain of salt, because in the end, nobody has any fucking idea what's going to happen.
I do. Listen to me.
Listen to me. I'm going to take the Sharks in 5.
Here's what I will say. I was listening on Sunday. I was listening.
What was our Sharks in 5 moment that we were supposed to pull up?
Yeah, I mean,
I was listening and I was watching on Sunday. And I wasn't watching basketball.
I don't know how we almost made it through.
I wasn't
all
watching
the way
the selection
through the show without talking about this.
I was watching one man do what he used to do so well.
Fuck, how did we not talk about this?
Nailing putts.
Yeah, apparently there's some guy named
Oh
Eldrick Woods that was
God.
like, making a bunch of noise or something. I don't know.
Fucking Tiger showed up.
He showed up, and Paul Casey, and again, this was a second place finish by 1 stroke, but like our excitement, not to mention double the ratings.
These are the highest ratings they've seen since 2013.
It was like watching a major tournament with Tiger being in it. Like, and everything about him, and I hate getting so excited because like it could all end.
He could break his back
very quickly. Yeah, and it sucks. But like just to watch him be in the mix and like I think he bogeyed maybe like 2 holes the entire weekend. Like that's when Tiger was at his best, is when he just scrambled and scrambled and scrambled and scrambled. And like not only that, like he made a 44-foot putt on 17 to be within 1 stroke on 18.
I was just like,
dude, when he hit that shit,
I'm like, are we gonna see this Tiger Focus come in? Is he just gonna fucking birdie 18 and then win a fucking playoff? Like that's what I thought. I really thought that was gonna happen after he nailed that putt. I'm like, this guy is so fucking dialed in right now. I don't think he's gonna let it go.
I mean, I watched him really for the most part the entire weekend. Like Rayo and I spent the majority of Saturday watching him. I spent pretty much all of Friday watching him. Like I just haven't. I'm always waiting for it to collapse. Like even on Saturday, I was like, why am I even getting my hopes up? But like something is different. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that he got rid of all the extra people in his life and he is now in control of himself as far as his swing coaching abilities, and he's just bouncing ideas off of people. I don't know if that's what it is, or if it's just like finally this surgery had enough of an effect that he can at least, swing the club really hard and make some of those crazy shots without having to worry about hurting himself.
I think there's a big...
I mean, his swing looks the best it's looked in years.
Yeah, and his club head speed was still ridiculous.
And I think beyond that, though, I think he's better mentally. I really do. I mean...
Yeah.
I remember reading an article from Butch Harmon's kid about him and how he kind of had entered in his career kind of this like menacing phase. Like it was kind of like this Darth Vader-esque character where he just was like the bad guy and he was fine being the bad guy, but he kind of like lived like that and kind of like pushed everyone away, and it was just like him versus the world. And I think he got so caught up in that mentally it was really a problem when he hit rock bottom. And like in that same article, I forgot his name, but Butch Harmon's kid was basically like, when I saw him at this event, he wasn't playing or whatever, but he seems to be like coming out the other side. And it's where like he's just he's just like gonna be like more of a normal person that he was in like the earlier part of his career when he was just really fucking good at golf.
Right. And like he seems to be, I agree, like just watching him, he seems to be so much more calm with even his caddy and just like carrying himself differently and smiling on the golf course. And like he played with Snedeker all weekend, which also I know him and Sned, like I shouldn't say I know, but like I've read, like they're good buddies, and so like that's always helpful for Tiger, I think. But like, a lot of these guys were up and down all weekend at this tournament. Like the 54-hole leader, I think, was back down to like 1 under by the end of the day on Sunday, and like yet Tiger just stayed there. like, which is something he has not done, is consistently put 4 good rounds of golf together. And if you can do that, you're in the mix no matter what. I mean, really, there's no tournament where if you play consistently, good golf, you're not going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
He had 129.2 mile per hour club head speed this weekend, which is the fastest recorded this year.
Seriously?
Yep. 120. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I hope so. Christ, I fucking hope so. Oh, God. I just want him to be back so bad.
Ooh, here you go from Woods. My hands tell me how to shape a golf shot, and I've built this golf swing that you see out there swinging the golf club around with my hands. My dad always used to say that that's the only thing we have direct contact with the club, so trust your hands. My right arm and neck aren't shaking because my back's out, my nerve's out, and it's inflamed. I don't have those issues anymore. I can trust my hands, so you'll see me creating shots and doing different things.
Sounds good.
Fuck yes, Tiger.
He had a few. I mean, he really did. Like, he's always been wayward off the tee. So, like, that's not the thing. But he got, he was hit. No. And he got to hit a ton of 2-irons and just hit fairways. And that's when Tiger does his work.
And that's where, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here, but that's where Augusta National sounds pretty interesting because it's a second shot course.
Barring injury, I'm picking him to win. I'm just telling you right now.
I'm with you.
I don't give a fuck.
I wish we were in Vegas this year for March Madness, like we had been in years past, so that we could put money down on it right now.
Fucking, I'm all in on Tiger. I don't even care.
A for the tournament and then B for the Masters.
God, I just want him. And the Arnie's this weekend, and maybe he'll slide a little bit. Who knows? But I don't.
It's the first time he's played it since 2013.
I know, and he said he was going to do that this year. He's like, I'm going to play more golf.
Yeah.
But he's doing it so far. Which
he fell into that point where he was playing the tournaments that he had to.
Right.
And then just saying fuck all for everything else.
Before, it did feel different. It felt like it wasn't really him. This time it's not only the
clean-shaven Tiger again.
People, the fans were just, I think they, one of the announcers mentioned it, people legitimately miss this guy. And so people are going crazy about that.
You're right. They did say that on Sunday.
Everyone loves a good comeback story. And, you can truly say that this is a comeback story because, I mean, he was, at the point of his last back surgery where he had tried to work his way back multiple times, looked like shit, and then ended up, with, in another back surgery only a few rounds in with, at age, 42 now? And it was kind of
right.
All right, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
right.
Then he just came back. It was such good television.
Right, he wouldn't be doing this if he really didn't love the game of golf. No human would put themselves through this much if they didn't legitimately have a passion for what they were doing and, still have something to give. Right. I think that's what it comes down to. And, absolutely. I think people legitimately... I mean, what the fuck? I'm talking about a 42-year-old man I want to make out with him.
And he also didn't look like a 42-year-old out there. He just didn't.
No.
He looked like young Tiger out there this weekend.
Yeah, and that's infectious for everyone that plays with him, that's at the tournament. Even Paul Casey was I thought he was going to win. I'll tell you right now, I haven't seen anything like that. I thought he was going to win. He played with Spieth, and I think on Thursday and Friday he was in Spieth's group. It's just, this is the guy that so many of these young players looked up to and started playing the game of golf because of him. And if he can just get on the cusp of figuring it out consistently, I still think the Tiger factor is going to be a thing.
Oh yeah.
Come Sunday. If he can get in the final group with someone, I would love to see what would happen. I mean, Snedeker dropped 7 shots on Sunday.
I wouldn't put I wouldn't put that on Snedeker. I don't think Snedeker has that issue, but
I don't think so either. I'm just saying,
it would be kind of
like,
interesting though, because like a lot of these players were like kids when he was growing up, and he was when Tiger was playing, and they grew up aspiring to be him. So it is a really interesting dynamic if he ends up with one of these, young guys in their 20s,
like a Justin Thomas or a Jordan
even
Spieth on Sunday.
Like Patrick Reed wears red and black on Sundays because Tiger is his idol. Like
of Tiger.
Because I didn't even realize Patrick Reed is like our age, which is weird. But like just guys like that even.
Yeah, I agree. Let alone if he gets into a final group with Sergio, that fucking
that would
piece
be
of shit.
That would be really if those two ended up in a pairing, the final pairing at Augusta on Sunday.
Oh
Sergio would shit himself. Like Sergio would absolutely collapse.
I hope so.
I wonder if Sergio would magically fall ill.
I hate that guy.
I do too.
I hate his long pre-swing.
I hate that he stumbled into a Masters win last year, even though he played like shit down the stretch.
Yeah.
Even a broken clock tells the right time twice a day.
Fucking.
Fuck you, Sergio.
No,
is that what you wanted?
What was it?
Are you not entertained?
God, who's the guy who he beat? I can't believe I'm not thinking about him.
What?
The guy that Sergio beat last year.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Justin Rose. God damn, Justin Rose. Yeah, so I was...
Oh, okay.
Long story short, Justin Rose hit it into the woods, and that's the only reason why Sergio won.
You're not wrong. And with that, can you tell us how we should enjoy watching Sergio not win the Masters this year?
With a Tiger Woods...
Or how we should enjoy the tournament.
It's very versatile. You can enjoy it all with an ice cold Four Loko!